Canadian authorities just dealt a crushing blow to Harry during his visit to Vancouver. He thought he had it all figured out, expecting to stay at a luxurious 5-star lodge for the Invictus Games 2025. But guess what? That spot went to Prince Joachim and Princess Maria of Denmark instead. Can you believe it? Here's a guy who once thought he had the game all locked down, only to find himself scrambling for a place to stay while the Danish royals were living it up in VIP style. Talk about a slap in the face. This was supposed to be Harry's moment to shine at the games, but instead, it quickly turned into a whirlwind of frustration. Those close to him said he was absolutely furious. I mean, how could he not be? This was a man who once proudly claimed the Invictus Games as his brainchild, but now he found himself sidelined, watching foreign royals who had no previous ties to the event steal the spotlight. When Harry arrived in Vancouver, he had visions of grandeur dancing in his head. He thought his mere presence would guarantee him the best treatment, but reality hit hard when he realized he was no longer the center of attention. The 5-star lodge he had set his sights on was off the table, leaving him to settle for a much less impressive hotel. Talk about a downgrade. Sources say he was visibly upset upon hearing the news, and some even suggest he tried to overturn the decision. Can we blame him? The timing of the Danish royals' visit couldn't have been worse for Harry. They swooped in, all arrangements made ahead of time, forcing Harry to swallow the bitter pill of his downgraded accommodations. He expected to be the main attraction, the star of the show, but instead, Prince Joachim and Princess Maria were stealing the limelight. What a reality check! His frustration was palpable, and it wasn't just about the hotel. It ran deeper, touching on broader implications about his status and relevance. Despite his attempts to portray himself as a key player in the Invictus Games, the reality was stark. He was overshadowed by a couple of royals who had only just arrived on the scene. And let's not forget about Meghan. She didn't hold back expressing her discontent, even from afar. Reports indicate she felt the situation was yet another attempt to undermine Harry's significance. In her eyes, this was disrespectful treatment, and she believed it was intentional. Meghan had long harbored concerns about how Harry was treated, and this incident only reinforced her beliefs. It was more than just a hotel, it symbolized a shift in how Harry was perceived. The Danish royals were there as dignitaries, actively engaged in their royal duties, while Harry had distanced himself from his royal responsibilities. Canadian officials saw no reason to prioritize Harry over the visiting royals, and that's a bitter pill for anyone to swallow. This situation highlighted the gap between Harry's self-image and how the world saw him. He expected a warm welcome in Canada, but it turned out to be a rude awakening. The Invictus Games were always close to his heart, but his influence had waned. Once revered by world leaders, he now found himself fighting for acknowledgement. Assigning that coveted lodge to Prince Joachim and Princess Maria was a wake-up call. It was a stark reminder that he was no longer the priority he once believed he was. The reactions from those involved in the Invictus Games were mixed. Some sympathized with Harry, recognizing his crucial role in organizing the event. Others, however, felt that this controversy was an unnecessary distraction. They believed the focus should remain on honoring veterans and celebrating their resilience, not getting caught up in royal squabbles over accommodations. Many saw the attendance of Prince Joachim and Princess Maria as a positive addition, bringing international prestige to the event. Unlike Harry, they weren't looking for special treatment, they were there to support the cause. So, what does this all mean? It's a stark illustration of just how far Harry has fallen in the royal hierarchy. No longer the golden boy, he's now grappling with the reality of his situation. The Invictus Games should be about the veterans, but with Harry's drama stealing the headlines, it's hard to keep the focus where it belongs. The question now is, how will he cope with being overshadowed, not just by the Danish royals but by the very event he once thought he could control? This incident serves as a crucial reminder that perception is everything, especially in the royal realm. Harry may have once commanded respect and admiration, but now he faces the harsh truth of his diminished status. It's a lesson learned the hard way, and moving forward, he'll need to reckon with the fact that the game has changed, and is no longer calling the shots. The Invictus Games were meant to be a celebration of strength and resilience, but with this recent twist, the focus has shifted to a royal drama that no one saw coming. As we dissect this unfolding situation, it becomes crystal clear that Harry's journey is far from over. He has a choice to make. He can either rise above the noise and reclaim his place in the spotlight, or he can continue to be overshadowed by those who are willing to engage with their royal duties and responsibilities. The world is watching, and the stakes have never been higher. So, what's next for Harry? Will he fight to regain his relevance, or will he fade into the background while other royals step up to take the lead? One thing's for sure, The Invictus Games are about more than just one person, and the resilience of veterans will always take precedence over royal squabbles. As the drama unfolds, all eyes will be on Harry to see how he navigates this challenging landscape and if he can reclaim his standing in a world that is constantly evolving around him. In the end, it's not just about the accommodations or the spotlight. It's about how he chooses to respond to these challenges. Will he rise to the occasion and prove that he still has what it takes to be a leader, or will he let these setbacks define him? The choice is his, and the world is waiting to see what he'll do next. So stay tuned, because this story is far from over, and the next chapter promises to be just as intense as the last.